was my father's kingdom. A place of fairness.
This is back to back to back to back. It's becoming a trend with this.
I just feel like Disney has just...
With only a month left until Disney's live-action Snow White hits theaters, the company seems to be spiraling into deeper controversy with every passing day. The backlash started early and has only grown louder. From drastic story changes to casting choices to poor CGI and divisive messaging, the upcoming film might be Disney's most hated yet. The studio has faced a string of recent failures, and now, many are asking, could Snow White be the breaking point for Disney's current direction? The trouble started the moment Disney announced the live-action remake of its most iconic classic. Instead of staying faithful to the original 1937 animated film, the studio made sweeping changes. From recasting the titular character to reimagining the seven dwarves as diverse magical beings, Disney's attempt at a modern rebrand was met with immediate skepticism. Photos from the set only fueled the criticism. Fans quickly noticed inconsistencies with the source material and a strange blend of traditional elements paired with an awkward, artificial modern visuals. The trailers that followed didn't help. The first two previews were met with overwhelmingly negative responses. The latest trailer, which just dropped, has already amassed over 1 million dislikes on YouTube, a clear sign that audiences are fed up. To make matters worse, the like to dislike ratio is heavily skewed. Out of more than 9 million views, over 1 million people hit the dislike button, with very few positive comments in sight. If the ratio wasn't damning enough, the comment section reads like a roast session. Viewers are posting increasingly creative burns, and the backlash has become so culturally resonant that users have even made songs using the most savage comments.
I'll give Disney some credit. They are brave enough to leave the comment section, but so scared that they couldn't leave the like and dislike ratio.
This isn't just criticism, it's a full-on cultural rejection. For many, the only reason to talk about this movie is to laugh at how poorly Disney seems to understand its own audience. The comment section have become memes in themselves, and the tone is more mocking than ever. Yet, Disney continues to push forward, seemingly unaware of the storm it has created. This isn't happening in a vacuum. Disney has been on a downward spiral for some time. Its recent Captain America installment was a box office flop, and Disney Plus is bleeding subscribers. The studio also quietly canceled its controversial Reimagine Tomorrow program, a DEI initiative that aimed to amplify underrepresented voices, but became a lightning rod for criticism. Internal documents and investor statements show Disney may be rethinking its aggressive push for social messaging. Rumors suggest that the government-backed USAID organization, once allegedly tied to promoting DEI content in media, has pulled its support. Whether Disney received direct funding or not remains unclear, but the timing of the studio's backpedaling raises eyebrows. Let's talk about the visuals. For a movie with a $300 million budget, the CGI is shockingly bad. The dwarves, or whatever they're supposed to be now, look like awkward, cartoonish abominations. Disney flip-flopped between casting real actors, using CGI, and blending the two, resulting in a creepy, uncanny valley effect. Comparisons have been made to CGI in older Disney projects, like Pirates of the Caribbean, which still holds up 2 decades later. In contrast, the new Snow White visuals look cheap, rushed, and uninspired. It's baffling how a company with Disney's resources continues to release content that looks 10 years outdated. Part of what makes this all so frustrating is how unnecessary it feels. Snow White is the film that built Disney. It was the first full-length animated feature in history and remains one of the most beloved fairy tales of all time. So why remake it with so little respect for its legacy? Instead of honoring the original, Disney seems intent on deconstructing it. The tone is inconsistent. The set design feels like a lifeless theme park. Even Snow White's iconic dress feels out of place against the bland, muted backgrounds. It's a movie torn between nostalgia and modernism, and in trying to serve both, it satisfies neither. Behind the scenes, things aren't much better. Reports indicate multiple rewrites and reshoots took place after disastrous test screenings. Leaks suggest Disney executives were caught off guard by just how badly the film was received by test audiences. As a result, several key scenes were redone, and some roles recast or digitally altered. This kind of reactive filmmaking is rarely a good sign. It suggests that the vision for the film was never clear to begin with. Instead of telling a story, the filmmakers seemed more concerned with hitting the right PR notes, and now it's backfiring in spectacular fashion. Initially, fans were angry. Now, they're just indifferent. And that's arguably worse. The trailer's poor viewership numbers are telling. For a film of this scale, only 9 million views in the first week is staggeringly low. It means people aren't even curious. The few who do watch do so to mock or criticize. Disney has worn out its welcome. Audiences are tuning out not just of Snow White, but of Disney entirely. Even die-hard Disney fans are disillusioned. Social media is full of former supporters who now openly criticize the studio, and the casual viewer? They're already gone. Disney Plus has been another pain point. Subscription numbers have dropped significantly, especially after the studio raised prices. In Q4 of 2024 alone, Disney lost 700,000 subscribers. CEO Bob Iger claimed he wasn't worried, saying the losses were expected. But when your flagship streaming platform bleeds users right before a major film release, that should be a red flag. Disney once bet big on streaming as the future of entertainment. Now it's paying the price. Content fatigue is real, and audiences are tired of low-effort remakes. Disney keeps churning out new content to justify the subscription, but the quality has taken a massive hit. What made the original Snow White so special was its authenticity. It was a passion project from a hungry, creative Walt Disney who poured everything he had into telling a beautiful story. It was a gamble, and it paid off because it came from a place of sincerity. Modern Disney, in contrast, feels like a machine. It's a content factory more concerned with market trends and social metrics than storytelling, and the difference shows. And nowhere is it more glaring than this Snow White remake. The failure of Snow White might represent more than just a bad movie. It could be the collapse of Disney's cultural influence. Once a titan of imaginative storytelling, the studio now seems out of touch, uninspired, and arrogant. The public has grown tired of being told what to like. Disney can no longer rely on brand loyalty alone. Consumers want good stories, not lectures. They want characters to believe in, not placeholders for corporate checklists. So, could Snow White be the final nail in the coffin for this era of Disney? Quite possibly. With a $300 million budget, minimal public interest, and an overwhelming negativity surrounding it, the film is shaping up to be a monumental flop. And unlike past failures, there are no excuses left. No pandemic, no release schedule mix-ups, no market confusion, just a bad movie made worse by a tone-deaf studio. Disney needs to change, fast. Because if Snow White fails, the fallout won't just affect one film. It could take down an entire strategy. And maybe, finally, force the studio to rethink everything. The world doesn't want a corporate version of magic. It wants the real thing. And Disney, it's long past time to wake up from its own fairy tale.